Hello, true duelists. My name's Craig Fee, and here's what's made news this week. Hell is freezing over. A ban list dropped in the TCG and people didn't hate it. YCS Houston happened, now the home of Big GABONGA. The quarter-century Stampede is here, and is simultaneously a great set and also literal theft of your dollar, all at the same time. What does simultaneously mean? The 2025 Megatons have been revealed, and I am more than ready to hate on them for being bad yet again. Welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Update. This week had only one story that anybody cared about, that being the ban list. And it's one you've already heard every single opinion on from all your favorite content creators, some of them possibly even twice by now, as the truly intellectual content creators among us make a, week after ban list type video to truly capitalize on the market value the ban list brings the YouTubing community. After having some time to think about it, I can tell you my thoughts remain largely the same. It seems when Konami in turn heard about the sentiment among players and how useless the semi-limited list is and decided to prove everyone wrong for the meme. Or they just wanted to tickle the balls a bit of people who really want to have that merged list and the unified format, as if the bug isn't the defining factor splitting the two apart. As said though, it's not a perfect list by any stretch, but Malice and Ryazul were both addressed in some capacity, which is far more than I thought they'd be, and far more than you thought they'd be too, because Konami has had a pattern that they somewhat broke for the first time in a long time, which was nice to see. Granted, the return of things like Masterpiece means that True Draco is just going to use more floodgates more often in the future as people try to pick that deck up again, which is going to suck. Or things like Gem Knight's getting Brilliant Fusion back, in my mind, just means an FTK. It might not actually, but that's functionally all Gem Knight has ever been, so in my brain it's like, well, I guess an FTK's back in some capacity. And then there's things like Snake Eyes returning, with the limiting removed for Snake Eye, Ash, and Poplar going up to 2, and that, I can tell you, was not something anyone was hoping for. When it came to things coming off the list, Snake Eye was not more heavily missed than things like Electromite, or MX Saber Invoker, or Zodiac Trident, or the goddamned Party Boat. It's been banned since March of 2013. 12 years in jail for the sins of Hunter and relentless board spam that 2012 wasn't ready for, but 2025 is, so just give me the damn Party Boat back. So yeah, there are plenty of things to be critical of here, but if I hear a goddamn thing about it, I don't care, because Shifter's now limited. That's certainly the sentiment among a lot of people. They hit the card most requested to end up on the ban list in every video I've made discussing ban lists for the last 2 years. So at the very least, a lot of people are going to be happy based on how often they commented about it. So by virtue of having that piece of shit on the list, it was, if nothing else, a solid top of B tier list for regards to ban lists. And while no one cares for things like Monkey Board for Pendulum players who want them, or the baby Chaos Dragons working their way up the ban list before another Dragon and or Chaos deck abuses them and gets them back on the list because those floating search effects were just simply not made with links in mind, it's good, it's fine, it's pleasant. The list is already in effect and is either the last list before Worlds this summer, or the conspiracy is real and Konami will give us one more bonus list in June to hit meta decks even more, to lift Blue Eyes into top dog status for the combined list to deck win Worlds. Did that make any sense? I don't think it did. Even crazier, I think, would be if they don't give us more lists, but Blue Eyes wins Worlds regardless, because enough slap on the wrists between the two formats are enough that it's like, yeah, I guess Blue Eyes is still technically the best. And then, God willing, we get a repeat of 2016, not just in Blue Eyes winning, but in one of the players bricking colossally 2 games in a row and losing within 15 minutes, because that was funny as shit. It took my friend the amount of time to get from his place to ours to watch Worlds for it to be done. He got to our place, and he had already missed it. And that is a defining memory of Yu-Gi-Oh! For me, so please God, let Blue Eyes repeat exactly that with this upcoming Worlds format and the combined ban lists using even this one that we just got. And we got that tremendous ban list that was presented in a very fun way at the YCS held last weekend, YCS Houston. That one was actually streamed, which is not a guarantee, so that's nice, rip to Las Vegas. And it meant we could watch along at home as Jerome McHale made that lovely Max Headroom reference, which my God, I don't care that I said it so close to it, just I wasn't entirely expecting it. The casting team had a new addition this time round, with Jackie Jing as an interviewer following the rounds and playing the little quiz and questionnaire games between it, which was pretty damn nice to see. Nothing against it, Billy or Asala or anyone else, that they've done fine, but European streams have always been a notch above American ones, and I think Jackie did help elevate it to another level. So that was, if nothing else, enjoyable to watch on the in-between, rather than 98 minutes of your life watching crowd shots and just a YCS logo. This event being streamed also meant it let you enjoy some lovely incidents that happened, namely the one in top 8, where a Labyrinth player, Kai, chained Welcome Labyrinth to the attack of his opponent's Big GABONGA, and they ended up using the grave effect of Goblin Biker Grand Breakout to get over that newly summoned Lady in the Battle phase. This ultimately led to some trouble because Grand Breakout can only be activated at the attack's declaration, which means they missed the opportunity to do it in the redeclare once the Lady had been summoned. This was critical because it meant that the player was allowed to make a Zeus play that wouldn't have been legal at any capacity had they not, been able to illegally activate Grand Breakout. That did a good amount of impact on round 1 in top 8 in the feature match and was rightfully met with some criticism. Now, it's possible the results of the duel would have been the same. It's impossible to really know. In a much less dramatic fashion, my favorite incident wasn't nearly as big and also happened on day 2, where in Top Cut, a Raizio player was forced to make Detonator first because they kind of lingered to put Detonator down, but then didn't, and they were like, nope, hard make Detonator now or game loss. Unacceptable that you would even reconsider this motion. I don't think it had tremendous impact. I think it just meant he made Detonator and then Dweller instead of Dweller and then Detonator. And also the opponent's hand was nutty from what I can remember. But it was just funny to see it be like, nope, now, Detonator now. In the top 8 match. Both those incidents, fun fact, involved the same player as the opponent, that being the one and only Pascal, who was the winner of the event. He was on a list of Goblin Memento, which was something of a fan favorite for being an underdog and would ultimately be the winner of the event. Yeah, that's how that sentence started and ended. I've said it twice, which means it's now doubly true. So congratulations to him for doing what no other player could do, and that is win a YCS with Big GABONGA. Takes some amount of skill, and it also makes some amount of sense. Memento has been a tiered little rogue deck of sorts for a while now, and the Goblin engine does have a pretty good matchup against Raizio for being able to munch Detonator's materials while also kind of forcing responses, just kind of getting your free plays out of the way off their monsters. Pretty reliable. It's almost like matchup dependent. Things like Goblin can really shine when a deck like Raizio is the top deck. So congrats to Pascal for giving Memento its first YCS win and the last YCS win of the format. Up next is YCS Mexico City on the weekend of April 19th and 20th, which is next weekend on the release of this video. Because, yeah, filming ahead means you gotta keep track of the weekend. It's so hard, man. It's so hard being me. YCS Providence will be the next event after that, which is the closest we'll get to a YCS where we can make Peter Griffin jokes, because Family Guy funny clips will outshine the entirety of Yugi-tubing and our community no matter what any of us do, and pandering is easy. And then I guess I really got to work on my Peter Griffin impressions, which are somehow remarkably even worse than my failed attempts at speaking Spanish. And today marks the release of the Quarter Century Stampede, the second last chance to get the coveted Quarter Century Secret Rare in a set that's either pretty solid or an absolute failure of a set that only an idiot would buy. My take is that it's pretty solid, gives players access to more things like the Fiend's Whoa! Gives players more access to things like the Fiendsmith engine, although you probably can't afford tracks now that you can finally afford Engraver, which is on some level funny. It also gives a much needed and cheaper reprint of Mulcharmy Foolos, and even a reprint of Ash Blossom yet again for those who are still lacking a playset. More copies of Ash aren't a bad thing to just keep it affordable, since that's one of the truly staple / necessary hand traps across so many damn formats. To no shock, pre-order prices have things like the Quarter Century Secret Rare Nostalgia cards being the big money ones of the set, things like one of the 5 Dark Magician arts, or one of the Dark Magician girls, or Red Eyes, or Blue Eyes, and also big money being the Quarter Century Secret Rare only alt arts for things like Ray, the Tactical Tridex, and holy fuck, that Zeus is dying! Sick ass art, I already know I can't afford it. And of course, the super rare Full Lost super rare reprint, which, why is it super rare? I'm just reading the guy. Reading's hard, man. So is typing, apparently. Super rare Full Lost on TCG Player has pre-order prices at about $18. Now that's a pretty big price tag for the super, but it is also the pre-order price, and it's like the chase card of the set, so I'd expect it to drop. It'll probably settle somewhere around 8 to 10, and then work its way back up to 15 over the course of the next couple of weeks, if I had to guess from the history of these things. And also, remember when you're buying them, take a peek at the price of the ultra rares, because everyone lasers in on the supers, which kind of inflates their price a bit, so sometimes the ultra does be the more affordable one. Just check before you hit your confirmed purchase, my recommendation for you. And remember, of course, to get hyped to open packs of your very own with copies of Esper Girl, since these packs need to have some amount of dog shit in them, apparently. I don't know why Esper Girl got the reprint. Don't tell me it's a shout out to the psychic cards we're getting in like 6 months in the TC. I don't care. It's a bad reprint. I don't want it. I mean, every rare collection has to have dookie cards in it. Things like Sol and Luna, or Blue Eyes Hip Dragon, or Dragon Maid Lorpar. In Bonanza, which it's a shame Bonanza didn't have Gabonga, because then I could have truly made you think I'm having a stroke by the way I speak, which probably happens more often than I care to admit anyways, but shut up. I just love the name Bonanza and Gabonga. So yeah, it's not perfect, but good God, is it miles above things like whatever the hell star packs were. And also, it's way better than gold rares with that fugly ass premium gold rare print. I don't want that shit ever again. Please just keep doing stuff like this. I could keep the printing strategy in the future, and if we can just replace quarter century secret rares with Pingleman Dick Suck or Starlight rares or whatever gets us there, I don't care. Please just keep giving us more sets like this. They're so much better than like every other reprint set, especially things like the 2024 Megatins. And speaking of, we just got the 2025 Megatins earliest reveal. That's right, following the dog shit of 2024, how could it possibly get worse? He said, to truly tempt fate. The main thing is the only thing that's been revealed. We don't know the sets being reprinted or anything, we just have the bare minimum of information. The physical tin, though, is revealed, that having, for the first time in far too long, Kaiba and Yugi on it. But it's okay, they threw Joey in as well, and like every other anime character along the side. It's neat looking, it's cool. I just really love taking the opportunity to be like, wow, Kaiba and Yugi again, just for a change of pace, huh? The tins themselves will come with 3 packs inside, and this time round will also feature 3 deck dividers to help you sort cards in your collection. How cool! Now, the packs themselves will have 1 prismatic secret rare, 1 starlight rare to replace the quarter century secret rare from last year's tins, 3 ultras, and 8 commons in any pack. Also different this time round is the option to go for the Mega Bundle as opposed to the Mega Tin. This is an option that does not come with a tin, crazy I know, but it also doesn't come with the dividers, opting instead to basically just be 3 packs, offering you the same amount of cards you get from the tin in the same rarity, just not in a tin. So 3 Starlights, 3 Prismatic Secrets, 9 Ultras, and 24 Commons. No idea what that product will physically look like, but if I had to guess, it'll probably look similar to the gold rare sets we've had in the past, which aggravate me on principle because it reminds me of gold rares and I fucking hate those. The bundle will save you a whopping $3 in MSRP, but more importantly than that, will save your local landfill from dealing with shit like this. What do you do with these? What is their purpose now? We have no idea. I personally look at them and feel regret. So, there's no information on what sets will be printed in it, as said, if they plan on making these packs entirely worthless again by including 100 secret rares and a 50... It's just 24 tins. The 2024 tins were so bad. If this is another set with 400 cards in it, I'm making a one-man live-action remake of Suicide Squad, publishing it on YouTube, and you get to figure out what the fuck it is that entails. So, until then, copium addicts can huff the copiatum, or whatever the hell it is, as they, insist that these ones super secret will be good. Guys, I promise this time will be different. What do I do with them now? It's too noisy to get rid of them. And then everyone else can really hope that shit turns around on some capacity, because my God, if we get more of this shit, or more particular the 2024 ones, the silver ones, I'm not going to be happy, and Konami probably isn't going to make the sales they want to make, because the 2024 tins sucked donkey dick. So that wraps it up for this week's update. As always, I've been your host, Gregory Fee. That's right, that's me. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Not only doing so will impress your smoking Italian wife, but you'll immediately become a true duelist. And maybe you'll get one of these tins. You won't, but honestly, if you broke into my house and took them, I don't even think I'd be upset because they're just so obnoxious and in the way and doomed to a landfill, aren't they? Thanks, Konami. Can't wait for next time. 12 years in jail for the sins of Hunter. My God. 2012. Oh, you son of a bitch.